X Resolution Service is the company that works hard to clear up IRS problems. Trust.
You may be wondering, where are we going and why? Well, I'm going to go down to Ogden. I've been busy working at home all day yesterday and kind of felt a little cooped up, and it is now today is the first full day of spring 2012, so I'm gonna go out and get rid of a little cabin fever and go see what's happening in Ogden for a couple hours. Also, I'm probably very likely to go see a movie called John Carter. Now, the movie John Carter was they shot the movie some in England. I guess a lot of the studio stuff they did over there in England, and then a lot of the on-location work they did down in southern Utah, so which is over there. I know some people who worked on the movie, although I haven't really spoken with them a lot about what was it like to work on the movie, but people that I used to work with on, Promised Land, Touched by an Angel, Everwood, and other little feature films along the way. And then, it's just a matter of curiosity. See how this movie turned out, because it's sort of being referred to now as like it was a big, giant financial failure. This movie was the first huge bomb of 2012. So they say. So I'm a little curious about it. I thought I'd go see it in a theater before it's too late. If I'd gone last week, I could have seen it in an even bigger theater. But as it stands now, I'm going to see it in a decent-sized theater, I think. We'll see. The movie starts in about 45 minutes or so. Something like that. Alright. But maybe before I go, I'll check the mail here at the P.O. box. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, what'd you get? What'd you get in the mail? What'd you get in the mail? I think this is, I was expecting to receive a little memory card, a little secure digital memory card like that big. And I think that's what this is. I think they put it in a big old padded envelope like this. Oh, Netflix. Gee, what'd you get from Netflix? What'd you get from Netflix? Well, I tell you, one of them is a documentary on the Batman craze of the 60s, so the old Batman series with Burt Ward and Adam West. And the other one is an Elvis movie called Speedway. I don't even have to open them up to know that much. And looks like Amy's getting hit up for annual membership to Utah Public Radio. Okay. Alright. Now they have this thing, when it comes to the John Carter movie, they've got a couple of things that make it more expensive to go see the movie. One is called 3D. If you want to watch the movie in 3D, I've read where the movie was not actually shot in 3D, but it was a conversion process that they did later. So, also another thing that costs even more to see the movie with something they call D-Motion or D-Box or something like that. But this is where your seat actually is motorized, and it's made to kind of go along with what's happening in the movie. Your seat kind of shakes you around and stuff, and I tried that once almost 2 years ago at it was just a little demonstration thing in the lobby. They were showing a trailer, and you could sit there for 2 minutes and be bounced around in your chair watching a trailer, and then you'd say, oh, this is great, I got to do this for 2 hours in a full-length movie. you know, I thought maybe I would try this with John Carter, but I looked it up, and the additional cost of seeing the movie with the shaking chair D-motion D-box thing, it would have cost $8 more than the regular price of seeing the movie at a matinee. $8. But then again, if I wanted to go to a chiropractor and have him kind of shake me around for 2 hours, it probably costs more than $8. So, no, I don't think I'll bother with that. But I'm curious about it because what they have is they've got the whole theater, you know, regular seats, except for 2 rows. Just 2 rows near the front have these motion seats. So I'm not sure how they're going to make sure that, you know, nobody's sitting in those seats if they didn't pay for it. But I'll find out. Not by trying to go sit in those seats. I don't care about that. But it'll be interesting to see as I'm watching whether or not any of the chairs are moving. This particular theater has reserved seating in all their theaters, so when you buy your ticket, you know exactly where you're going to sit. And on the one hand, you say, well, that it doesn't seem fair, you know. And reserved seating, it seems like that would be a hassle. And is there a lot of trouble with people, you know, getting upset because you're in the wrong seat? So far, so good. They've been doing this for a few years already, and it seems to work out okay. The nice thing is, if there's some movie that you're really anticipating, you want to go see opening day or whatever, then you can go and you buy your tickets early. You have your reserved seat. Excuse me. And then you don't have to worry about getting to the theater super early and standing in line for a couple hours to get a good seat, because you already bought your reserved seat, you know, a week ago. So I assume, since they have reserved seating throughout the theater, they can probably deactivate any of those shaking chairs that haven't been paid for. I don't know. We'll see. Because I'm not going to sit in those chairs, but I'll keep an eye on it if anyone else does. I've got this idea in my mind that I'm going to be the only one in this theater anyway. Because who wants to go see John Carter? It's a notorious flop. Amy asked me, because I said, I think I might just go to a matinee today. And I said, you know, it's John Carter. And she's like, well, what's that one about? And I said, well, what it is the story of President Carter's brother, who is a Civil War veteran, who somehow gets transported to the planet Mars, where he has kind of superhuman powers. He can jump like Superman and stuff. And so, and then he fights in their battles, and he falls in love with a princess, and I don't know, something like that. Isn't it amazing how you can just change one detail and have a lot of fun with something like that? Okay, so we're headed down Ogden Canyon to the theater. I'm wearing glasses today because one of my contact lenses is a little goofy. I have these contact lenses that I wear every day for a month, and then I throw them away and get another pair. And the one set that I've been using this month is a little, so sometimes it looks great, the left eye, and other times it looks kind of squirrely. So today I'm wearing my glasses, which are much more consistent. My visual acuity looks pretty good. I'll watch the movie that way in 2D. See how that goes. I did go see the Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace re-release in 3D, mostly out of the sense of curiosity. And I gotta tell you, there were some scenes where maybe it was a close-up on somebody, and I could tell there wasn't a lot of 3D going on in the scene, so I just kind of take off the 3D glasses for a second, look at the screen, and and the picture was much brighter without the 3D glasses on, and just looked really good. Looked a lot better in 2D with the brighter image. So I'm not really sold on the whole 3D thing, especially because it costs more. And then you get these movies that weren't actually made in 3D, but they were converted. And so I'm holding off on paying extra for 3D, except I'm a little curious. So the next thing I think I'll pay extra money to see in 3D will be in December, The Hobbit. I'm not a huge fan of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. I mean, I liked them. I liked the movies. Couldn't get into the books. I tried. It's kind of a little too out there for me. But the movie's okay. So I'll try this Hobbit movie. And the thing that really intrigues me about this Hobbit movie is they shot the movie with the digital cameras with about 2.5 times the resolution of high definition TV. So it should be a pretty sharp image, but even more than just the resolution, they're shooting these movies at 48 frames per second, so double the frame rate that we're used to on normal movies that we've been watching for our lifetimes. So double the frame rate, high resolution digital cameras, and they really are shooting it in 2D with 2 cameras at once to get the 3D perspective while they're making the movie. So it should be technically a new experience, and that intrigues me, and so I'll go ahead and pay the extra premium to watch The Hobbit in 3D later this year. And maybe there'll be a few moments when I'll kind of lift my glasses up and on the 3D glasses, and it'll be a brighter picture, and I'll say, I like the brighter picture. So, anyway. We'll see. We'll just see. Hey, get it? We'll see. Alright. Other news, let's see, the temple in Ogden where Amy and I got married, you know, they closed it about a year ago, just, you know, like 11 and a half months ago. They closed the building, and they basically tore most of it down. A major remodeling is what it is. So it's still going to be probably another year and a half or more before the project is complete. But it's only been in the last few weeks that they've actually started to build it back up again. What they had to do, they had problems with the plumbing was a major problem apparently. Heating and air conditioning and electrical, they wanted to update all that, and they were concerned about seismic upgrades as well. Then, because there's been a push to revitalize downtown Ogden, which is where the temple is, I guess the officials at the church headquarters decided, well, let's go ahead and let's revitalize this temple. You know, we could do seismic upgrades, we could do the technical upgrades, but let's go ahead and just really go for it and change the look of this building completely and give it an updated, modern, you know, or classic, whatever look. So that's what they're doing, and this has kind of never been done before with a building like this, so somewhat experimental. A little bit annoying to me because you know, the temple where we got married is basically, it'll never look like that again, and so I guess we'll have to get married again. No, we will. It's okay. We got married in the Mormon ceremony for the married for time and all eternity, so we don't have to get married again. We're done. We're sealed. That's it. So anyway, but we still go to the temple to do other stuff. You know, try to go once a month, sometimes more often. Amy's mom likes to go more often than that still, because it was just a very calm and peaceful and relaxing kind of, you know, religious worshipful thing. She enjoyed going down every week, but now that we can't go to the Ogden temple, she goes to the one in Bountiful, which is you know, an extra half hour away basically, and so it's just not, she's just not, I don't have the energy and, you know, the time to you know, to go as often. But so we are anxiously awaiting having the temple back. fully functioning back here in the convenient Ogden location. But for now, we got to go to other places. That's fine. The other places are nice, but this one's going to be really nice when it's done. So anyway, they tore it down. They took everything above the first floor. They basically kind of dismantled it. Not with a wrecking ball, but a very careful deconstruction, leaving the main foundation and some of the structural stuff still, but basically just gutted the whole place and took a lot away. They had to also, they did a lot of work on the foundation and kind of some stuff underground, and a lot of that kind of preparatory work went into it. But now they've finally reached a point where they're done with all that foundational stuff, and they're actually now starting to build up again new walls on the upper levels, and it's starting to take shape very slowly, but you can start to see it's coming back.